These cards have been in an original box over 20 years now, at least, maybe 25 years. I made this purchase, and they're still here. Let's see what they are on this episode of Baseball King Collectibles. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And look what I got here. I bought this over 25 years ago, at least, when the prices were normal. I couldn't afford this now. I mean, I could afford it, but I don't think I'd pay the price for it now that I would. All right, this is the 1966 high number set. It's missing a couple cards, a couple big name cards in here too, but what I paid for this back in the day and what the price of it is now, I'll show you what the price of this complete series goes for right now. I wouldn't pay that in a million years. And like I said, this is all, those are all graded anyway. But it's a pricey. If you're going to chase after the high numbers and any of the 60 years, this was the year to do it. 66 had the most priciest high numbers. So let's get into it. We'll take a bunch at a time and we'll go through one at a time and see what I got here. Actually, we should start from the bottom. Well, okay, we'll do it this way. It don't matter either way. It's fine. All right, let's start off with Johnny Edwards. And this is the low. This starts off at 50. Whoa, hit the camera. 507, I believe it is. And it goes up to 598. And the higher the number, they are, well, not always. There's some short prints in here and some difficult names to get. Johnny Edwards. Whoops. We dropped one already. That is Steve Hagen. Jake Wood. Hoyt Wilhelm, Hall of Famer. And he's not too pricey compared for this set. He's very decently priced. There's the Giant rookie cards. Tito Fuentes was the big name there. Dick Stegman. Camilo Carrion. Mark Carrion was his son. Hal Wurschek. Frank Howard, the Hondo. Eddie Brassoud. And here's a check, guys. Check this checklist. I mean, this checklist alone is going for big money lately. Checklist alone, I don't know why. I guess it's unchecked. That's why it's a 7 Series 1, all that. But yeah, checklists are going for big money. Here's some more rookie stars. Bob Friend, the Yankees. And people don't remember Bob Friend and the Yankees, the old pirate, right? Jimmy the Toy Cannon. John Wyatt. All right, next batch up is, started off with the harmonica guy, Phil Inns. Remember him on the bus playing the harmonica during the 1964 season? Yankees weren't in first place, and he played the harmonica in the back of the bus. And you gotta Google that story. It's a pretty good story. I don't gonna get into it now. But Bob Sadowski. Oh, we got giant rookies. That is Ollie Brown, who had a nice career. Gary Bell. The Twins team card, very, very pricey team cards on, so is that one. Julio Navarro, Jesse Gonda, former Met in the 60s. Here's some more rookie stars. You can read the name. Lee Illy, who went on to have a pretty good coaching and managing career. Robin Roberts, pricey card also, because Robin Roberts, of course, we know as a Hall of Famer. Joe Cunningham, Aurelio Monteguero, Jerry Adair, Willie Davis, Herman Franks. This was a typical manager's card pose. If you look through a lot of the 60s early manager's cards, a lot of them have their hand to their mouth, like shouting, like, hey, get over there, hey, cover the base. Typical card. Bob Allen, now you just see them like, kneeling on a dugout step or something, Astro rookies, Gene Oliver, George Smith, and Roger Craig in that pile. So we'll put this on top of here. So we'll keep it in order, and then I'll just go back the other way with it. We'll start this pile off with cards. Rookies, 1966. Nice to 3 guys. Jimmy Williams. That's the main guy on the card here. Jimmy Williams, of course, the longtime manager, coach. Dick Green. Dwight Sibler. Horace Clark. This has some value. The Horace Clark card, very hard to get in a good condition also. It's pricey, PSA and all that. Gary Kroll. I'll put up the more expensive cards along the video as we go along. Bertie Tebbets, look, he's just hanging out there to manage the card. Typical, that's Braves rookies. Is it Braves rookies? No, it's just 66 rookies. It doesn't say Braves, it's just 66 rookies, but it does have the coloring and all that. So, Ron Peronowski, Mel Queen, Felix Mantilla, Roberto Pena with nice Shea Stadium in the background, the right field stands and all that. Joe Holland, Choo Choo Coleman, very difficult card. This is another one of those very hard ones. Bob Chance, Jimmy Pearsall, Mike Cuellar, that was before Cuellar really burst on the scene. And our last pile here is Dick Hauser, rest in peace, died very young, of course. We all know the story about him. Paul Lindblad had a good career. Orlando McFarland, Art Mahaffey, Dave Roberts, Bob Pretty, Darrell Griffith, Met rookies, Bill Helper and Bill Murphy, none of them panned out for the Mets. Earl Wilson, Jack Nicholson, well, not that, oh, Dave Nicholson, I said Jack. Dave Nicholson, all right, I have movies on my mind, I want to watch them right after this. Chichi Olivo. We got Orioles rookies, and there he is, Davey Johnson. Rest in peace, Davey, recently passed away. All right, that's a good one. Billy Williams, another good price to him. You know, he demands a little more than the average card here, and these are all high numbers. Pretty much, you know, the Tigers team, very expensive. This is another pricey one in condition. Condition's everything, of course. All right. Yankee rookies, Fritz Peterson went to have a great connect. Frank Fernandez, the local Staten Island guy. To me, I'm a Brooklyn guy. He's a Staten Island guy. He wanted to become I think a police officer or a fireman. I think it was a police officer. Ruben Amaro, Ruben Amaro, looked like Ruben Amaro. I'm just not looking at the name. Tony Taylor, Claude Ramon, and what's the error in this card? Kind of an error. His fly is open. You see that? And I got this card autographed, all right? I have 2 sets of the 66 set. It was my favorite set growing up as a kid. So this is why I bought another high number series. Jeez, if I paid maybe $100 for this, $200 back in the day, I don't even remember what I paid, but it was nowhere near this card alone. The Grant Jackson loan probably pays for everything I bought at the time. This is another very pricey card. Hard to get, in good condition. The 66 is a very hard. A lot of short prints in this, many short prints in the 66 series. So if you're working on a set and you want high numbers in the 60s, go after this series. This is a really difficult series to put together in good condition. And like I said, I'm not grading any of these. And the last but not least was Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry. And of course, the last number always puts a premium on the card because everybody put rubber bands around the card. The top card and the bottom card would take a beating all the time, especially the bottom and the top and the bottom. So the size as well. And there you got the 66 set. I love the 66 set. It was my favorite set growing up as a kid, and that's why I got so many 66 sets. I have 2 complete ones and a bunch of assorted cards, and every time I see a good lot on the 66 set, I'm always purchasing it because you never have enough of something that you really love, right? So we'll see you on the next episode of Baseball King Collectibles. Subscribe and like.